Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, home of your Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Live here tonight, Thursday night, a beautiful stormy night for the Coaches Show. And we are joined out here on the patio. Check the weather and the volume here as we get going. Be joined by Coach Vierra and a couple of Eagle baseball players here in a minute as the Eagles, something new thrown into the works this week, a tough loss on Tuesday night. And we'll discuss that with Coach Vierra as the Eagles move to 10-1 in district play, but a chance on tomorrow night over at Eastview to lock down the district championship, to right the ship after a tough loss on Tuesday night, 3-2 to Eastview. But a lot of happenings within the district. 7-4 seems to be the hot number right now as three teams all settled in there at a tie for second place at 7-4 between Elgin, Eastview, and the Pflugerville Panthers. So a lot of movement can be done here in the next three games, be it Friday, next Tuesday, and the following Friday for district play before the playoffs start. But the Eagles continue to play good baseball. Another good outing on the mound. One inning was the catch-all for the Eagles on Tuesday night in the second inning. They allowed the 3 runs. But a nice credit where credit's due. Patrick Reyes threw a good ball game, the lefty for Eastview. And so now an opportunity for these Eagles to respond tomorrow night at Eastview, 7 p.m. start, 6:45 live on SHN. And then Saturday, another good baseball game will be live at Eagle Field. We'll play the Round Rock Dragons at 1 p.m. there at Eagle Field, following, I believe it's the 9 a.m. Challenger game there at Eagle Field. So an opportunity to continue to support this baseball team as they continue on in the season, as they battle towards a district championship and the playoffs again here in this season. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have head coach Jordon Vierra join us, and we'll talk some baseball before visiting with a couple of the Eagle baseball players tonight. David Flewitt and Chance Pernicka will join us live here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Thanks for joining us live here at the Golden Rule. We'll be right back with more on SHN. Back here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street. And now we're joined by head coach Jordon Vierra. And, Coach, something we haven't had to do through district play is discuss a loss here in district play for these Eagles, but a tough one on Tuesday night at home against the Eastview Patriots. One you don't like to lose, one at all, two at your own home field, but an opportunity for this team to rebound on Friday night, tomorrow night at Eastview to kind of make up and avenge for this loss and claim another district championship.
Right. You know, you never set out on Tuesday night, especially at a home game, to not play your best and then give one up. So It's never a fun situation to be in. It is the game of baseball, so you do lose games. Like there haven't been very many guys that have ran the table and gone undefeated. So a little adversity in something that we necessarily shy away from. Right, we went through our entire preseason and experienced plenty of adversity along the way, and so. For our guys are pretty good about being resilient and bouncing back and being able to get back on the horse and keep on going at it. So, yeah, I mean, Tuesday night was a really good baseball game. Hats off to those guys. They played really well. Reyes pitched really well. They're lefty and did a really good job, and the game of baseball happened, right? You get a couple of balls that sneak by some guys in some different spots that don't necessarily hit somebody right in the face, and you're able to keep it rolling. But it is what it is. It happened. We're just excited about the opportunity to get back on the field on Friday.
How do you get this group refocused now to Friday and not let that bring them down and result in more of a letdown, but yet turn that and right the ship? Is it easier being in this situation with the other team across town, or is it just an everyday deal? Hey, we've got to grab ourselves, fix it, and get back on the field and go and win another one.
Yeah, at the end of every night, the conversation that we have doesn't change whether we win or whether we lose. The conversation every night is, the sun's already down. Here in a few hours, it's going to come back up again. Nobody died today because of the game of baseball, and so we get the opportunity to get back on the field tomorrow. So it is what it is. Rent was already due yesterday, and we get to show up again tomorrow and get after it again tomorrow. So I didn't have to do any spurring along to get these guys ready to go. They've showed up the past 2 days ready to rock and be flexible with the situation, with the weather that we've been able to have, and still being able to make sure that they get plenty of work in and be focused the entire time. So not overly worried about having to kick them or spur them along and get them moving. They've done that all on their own. So we really like this bunch of guys, and they've continued to show that they're resilient and ready to roll.
The facilities come into question on a week like this.
Yeah.
You put out the message earlier, sub-varsity practice canceled. Having the indoor facilities, still able to get a good practice in, get the work in, get ready for tomorrow night. How big is that to keep this team focused and make sure we're in the right direction as we go to tomorrow night?
Right, it's huge. I mean, you look across Central Texas, and there's not a whole lot of teams that are able to get some work in today because their cages are outside, they're in the weather, they got dirt infield, grass outfield, and so days like today, we're able to go inside and stay inside for the majority of the time and make sure that we're still able to hit our BP. We're still able to play catch. We're still able to do some of the things that we need to be able to do and still be prepared for the week. So I'm really grateful for GISD for the incredible facilities that we have, and then the Booster Club members that have gone out and raised the money for things like our indoor building and the cage setup that we have and everything else. When the community is able to support you and give you what you need, it sure does make it a whole lot easier on days like today whenever you can't just go out and soak up the sunshine and the rays and get on the field, and you're still able to accomplish the task at hand.
And you addressed that before I could even bring it up, and that's kind of where that direction was at. And how big is that a booster club like this baseball booster club
supports our community and supports our program with donations and fundraisers and all the things that our booster club and our parents do. And it's
a nice doubleheader over at Round Rock.
Right.
Now they come back and visit us for a single game on Saturday at 1 p.m. What do we look out of that with Round Rock?
So they're always a well-coached, talented club. They always have guys that can play over there that are really competitive and can get after it. And Coach Carter over there does a great job of making sure that those guys are always prepared. Really close friend of mine and somebody that I look up to as another coach. And so anytime we get the opportunity to take the field with those guys, we're excited about it. For all the other old head Georgetown guys around here, that Round Rock used to be the predominant supervillain out there and the club that we always wanted to beat. And so we kind of tried to schedule this week as rivalry week. You get to go face the other guys in town, and then you get to go take over and get after the Dragons a little bit. And so it's a fun week of baseball. It's a fun week to see what our guys have in store, and it's super competitive. And we're really looking forward to having those guys over and getting tested on Saturday.
After the hot one last Saturday at Vandergrift, I'm appreciative to be back at the friendly confines of Eagle Field. Back inside the broadcast booth the next 2 Saturdays. We bring on 2 tough opponents in the Round Rock Dragons and the Cedar Ridge Raiders, who come in, and an awesome series that we've gotten into the last couple of years on Saturdays to help prepare this team for the playoffs. Talking about the playoffs, we know the Eagles are in the playoff picture. They are now officially qualified for the playoffs. Now the goal, that goal to win the district championship is at hand. 3 games remaining in district. How do you keep these guys focused to, hey, we need to finish each game individually before we worry about the playoffs and what we do from there?
Right. So it's a conversation that we started back in January after we solidified what our clubs were. we look at what our end goal is, right? And obviously the end goal is to dogpile at Del Diamond, but that can't be the thing that we're constantly focused on, because if that's the only thing that you work on, you're never going to do anything the right way. So we have our checklist of goals of things we have to accomplish. If in order to win there, you got to win the semifinal, you got to win the regional final, so on and so forth, all the way down. And then the next goal is a district championship, right? We want to win a district championship, but before that, you got to win. You got to get in the playoffs. Right, so our goal the entire time was to win 10 district games, right? In order to win 10 district games, you got to win one. So that's been the goal, is one after another. Now we reached that 10 game goal, or that 10 win mark in district, which, as we've discussed, pretty much typically solidifies you into a playoff game. So we checked that box, and now we've been able to shift our attention to, hey, now the next goal is to win that district championship. And so that's been the continued goal, is, we just got one more game to win. And that game just happens to be the one where if you win it, you're district champions. So the guys understand the process, understand what's going on there, and hopefully as we continue this process, we're able to check off a couple more boxes along the way.
As the couple of weeks, as we look at the end of the season coming up here, the regular season, tomorrow night we're over on the road here in Georgetown over at Eastview High School. And then next week, after Saturday's game next week, we're at Bastrop on Tuesday, I believe, and then back home on Friday to close out the regular season. I'm assuming at a point like this, you reach that first goal of 10 wins in district. We know we're in the playoffs. It's not a hard thing to motivate these kids to try to get that district championship, to keep them focused of going towards that goal?
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, when they have that goal at hand of what they're trying to accomplish, and then we set up the next checklist, right? The next check mark, and not only just that, but the expectations of day-to-day function, right? Like, hey, we got to win this, right? Because our job is not complete until we dogpile at Del Diamond. So our guys understand the process. They've fully bought into what's going on, and they're thoroughly excited about the opportunity day in and day out to keep getting after it in and out. And we've talked about it before, and of what the G means, and we talked about it being that legacy piece before. And our guys are excited to be able to leave their stamp on the G when they're able to check out of here and have the 2023 team be one that continued the process and continued to grow the team and continue to grow the program and make it be something special.
And talking about that legacy and what they leave on, it's going to be a fun conversation tonight. The youngest player by classification on the team, along with one of these seniors on this team, and what he's been through, but yet to be one of the younger players in this program, to be on the varsity team. We'll talk to David Fluid as the only sophomore on the varsity, and then to Chance Pernica, one of the seniors that's been through this, that went and got the dogpile last year and went through the injury this year and has fought back from that. And so it's going to be fun to talk about that legacy from two different points of view, from a young player in his first year on the varsity to what that G means as he comes in new. And the future for him to make that G a big part of his legacy, but then what it's meant to a player like Chance Pernica and in his final season. Let's take a quick timeout. What we'll do is we'll come back. I already warned David Fluid. He's up first, so make sure he ate first, keep his food down. And I put the pressure on him and told him I've never had a player throw up here nervous, so hopefully he'll keep it locked down, since I grew up with David's dad for mine, just to be able to talk to one of the Fluid family members and get that experience after growing up
David's
with some of them.
as cool as a cucumber until you start talking about fishing.
Okay.
Start talking about fishing, that dude's going to get a little excited. That might get him rattled a little bit.
That's good to know. So we'll take that break. We'll come back with David Fluid here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live from the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street. Brave the weather. Come out and join us. It's a beautiful, stormy night for more Eagle Baseball here on SHN. We'll be right back. Back here live at the Golden Rule, joined by the only sophomore on this varsity Eagle baseball team. Is the volume all right? Is that better? Try to cut that now. Hopefully it's a little bit better. And the only sophomore, and he wears, I was so nervous. I was like, man, I'm going to mess up the number. But I know it is number 18. I know this roster up and down from reading it and talking about you guys. David Fluitt joins us here on the SHN Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. David, thanks for coming in tonight. It's awesome to get to talk to you as one of the, the only sophomore on this team. And I was just talking to Coach Vierra about the legacy of the G logo and what that means and wearing this G. And as the youngest player on this team, what does that mean? You come in as the only sophomore. Juniors and seniors are on this team spread out. What's that mean for you, being that youngest player, to be challenged to have that G logo at this level on your jersey in such a young time in your career?
I mean, it means a lot. It's being so young. It's just got to come here and show that you can do what you can do. And
do you challenge yourself to feel like you have to try to keep up with or be better than, or is it just continue to work on the things that David knows he can do and take care of that and let that take care of its own self?
I just focus on doing what I can do in the moment that I'm given. And just
you've become one of the three starters on the mound that this team goes to. Had a great district run right now. You're undefeated in district play. And taking the mound as a sophomore, do you feel pressure any different than one of your cohorts on the mound as a junior in Riley Leininger, and then the senior Nolan Johndal? Any pressure there that you either put on yourself or you feel as a sophomore that's been trusted by Coach Vierra to take that rock and go lead this team?
No, sir. There's no pressure for me. It's just go out there, throw strikes, and let the defense do the work.
How much fun are you having being a part of this team as the youngest guy? Are we having to carry extra equipment, extra sand pits into anything, or is it you're right in with the rest of them?
A little bit, but
a little bit extra work.
Yes, sir.
So Coach said if we start talking about fishing, you'll get excited. So quite the outdoorsman.
Yes, sir.
So what's your favorite around here? Do you have a fishing hole you like to hit? Where do you go?
Not necessarily around here, but down at the coast. Fish a lot inshore.
Okay.
Trout and redfish, but.
How often do you get a chance to do that? During baseball season, not much.
Yeah. Summertime is really the only time I get to go down, but.
How hard is it to get your dad to take you down there?
Anytime we can get.
He'll go with you?
Yes, sir.
That doesn't surprise me. Growing up in Dripping Springs, this is a lot of what everyone wanted to do. Go hunt, fish, be outside, not inside messing around. As you go through this junior year, as you guys have had a downtime during the tournament season and some tough adversity there against some great teams, and now the success in district play, how much fun have you had, and how hard is it maybe been for you to find out where that plane is, to stay up but not too high, but down but not too low, to keep it in the middle, to keep fighting with your teammates? I
mean, it's just you got to fight for your spot every day, and you never know what can happen. You just got to keep doing what you can do and don't take anything for granted. You guys running through district as we sit right now, 10-1 overall. How much fun has it been on this winning way compared to in the tournament time? How much have you guys come together and enjoyed this run through district? It's been a ton of fun. I mean, there's not holding anything back anymore and just keep going. How excited are you and this team as you guys ready for the playoffs? A big game tomorrow night, a chance to lock up the district championship, and then 2 games against the Bastrop Bears, but then the district. When you started this season, when you came in and know what happened with this team last year, winning the state title, what went through your mind? Did you set expectations for yourself and for this team, or was it just I'm going to go and compete and have fun and see where the cards may fall? What was your expectations joining in once you said they gave you that number 18 and said, welcome to the varsity? I was going to compete and just do all that I can do. And that is a lot of rain coming down. Yeah, it is. Storm grows, but we're safe underneath the patio here. Going through your sophomore year, what do you challenge yourself? Next year, you'll be a junior on this team. The following year, you're going to have 3 years on this team, and that's not a lot of people get that experience in this program because of the talent that comes through here. What does that mean to you as you finish, go through the end of district here and look towards the playoffs, but then to no come back next year, you're going to have a year of experience on your belt, but still only be a junior.
How do you position yourself and how do you ready yourself to be a leader next year? But then as you even move forward to your senior year 2 years from now, to be in that spot, to be one of the leaders, to carry the pride and the legacy of this G?
So I just focus on improving all that I can improve on and just getting stronger, hopefully. And
more reps in the cages, more.
Yes, sir.
Do you play ball outside of school?
Yes, sir.
Who do you play with?
Wings.
Wings baseball. So,
Sir.
And as soon as school starts, as soon as baseball ends here in the summertime in June, hopefully second weekend of June, starts back up the summer ball and on the travel, getting ready and continuing to work. What makes you tick outside of school? What do you like in school? Favorite subject? Let's do that one. And recess and lunch are not options.
Right now, probably biology, or I guess we're doing chemistry right now.
In sciences.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. What does the future look like for David Fluid? What's your thought process? You look into the future past high school. What do you see yourself doing? Going to school? Where do you want to go to school? What do you want to play baseball? What's that in your mind?
I want to go to school at Texas A&M, and
what is it with these Aggies around here? Good night, nurse. I give you credit, though, but that's a challenge. Now, is the goal to push in baseball and try to play at the next level?
yes, sir.
It's an awesome goal and an admirable goal. A kid that one of my sons is here tonight. A kid that he played was a year older at playing Little League baseball together. Plays for A&M right now. Travis, and I went blank on his name. Chestnut plays for A&M, and he worked hard to get there. And so that would be a great opportunity for yourself. So the fishermen now. So we have Scout, we have Ranger, we have Mighty Mouse. I'm sticking with Bullseye until someone comes up with something better for Devin Peterson since he got hit by a pitch the very next night, Friday night last week. And now we have the fishermen. And so the nicknames are going to keep flowing here on these teams as we go. Before I let you go, David, any shout-outs tonight?
Shout out Talon Ball, second base.
Mighty Mouse getting a shout-out here live on the SHN Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Sophomore first baseman pitcher number 18, David Fluid, joins you tonight here on the Eagle Baseball Coach Show. We'll take a timeout, come back with what I've been called the fireman. Chance Pernicka joins us next on SHN. Back here live on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Is that all right? Can you
Yeah,
hear
that's
there?
good.
Joined now by number 7 this year, Chance Pernicka. You were 7 last year. One of the ones that kept their uniform number. One of the seniors here, your starting catcher, Chance Pernicka, also known as the fireman, as Kelly Duvall and I like to call David England, a second responder. But glad, it's awesome to hear your story and what you're going to be doing. A key. I love firefighters. Why you run into burning things, I like to leave them and head away. But you're talking about that. They call you the fireman. The plans to go to Blinn,
Yes,
to
sir.
fire school after graduating. Talk to us about that. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. So I'll be going to a 2-year degree program. I'll be getting my fire science degree, and then I'll be doing a fire training course at the end, and then getting certified for everything. So.
And then what's the plan? Once you get those and you can spread your roots and go work anywhere you want, really, as a firefighter here, what's the plan for Chance Pernicka? Where do you look to settle after that?
I'm not really sure yet. Probably stay in Central Texas for sure.
Wherever you can get a job?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Yes,
Firefighters
sir.
are a necessity and a wonderful career. And so that thank you for being willing to do something like that. As crazy as I think you might be doing, running into the burning building, I'll support you from the back, blocking the roads to make sure no one runs in there. But Chance comes in. You come in, and we talked about that with Coach right before talking to David and now you. The legacy in that G. As one of the seniors on this team, what a ride that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got called upon to go in and catch, you were behind a one of the top catchers that ever come through Georgetown, and Zach Mazik, and he's doing wonderful things up at Baylor. But it seemed like every time Chance Pernicka's number got called last year, you stepped up and you were ready to go, and the bat was going. And then come into your senior year, and right off the bat into the tournament play, you get injured. How did you stay focused and not get down there knowing, hey, I'm going to come back and make a difference on this team?
Yeah, man, I was upset at first. Man, I was bummed out just because senior year, I didn't know what the severity of it was. But I was ready to go again, like right as I was healed. And luckily, it only took me about 10 days, and I was back on the.
Look towards that end and graduation when you go head off to Blinn next year. How does that look to you, and what kind of pride do you have in that to pass down that G logo and that legacy that you've been a part of?
Yeah, man, the G, it's just different than every other school. V just tells us all the time that the G is bigger than us, and so he wants us to share that and spread that as much as he can to these other guys so they can keep on spreading it. So
as you came back as one of the seniors this year, did you feel that pressure as a senior to be one of the leaders, to be one of the guys, to keep this group focused, to keep them drawn together? Or how did that fare from last year being one of the juniors on the team to this year being considered one of the leaders? We talked to Brady Peters. We've talked to Nolan Johndal about that and what it meant. How was that different from you coming back this year knowing, hey, this is my last ride. This is the opportunity for me to make a difference. How has that been now that you sit here this many games through the season?
Yeah, so Mazok really taught me a lot of leadership skills, and I kind of just transitioned those to this year, and it kind of just, I mean, it's helped us a lot for sure.
You have a catcher behind you in Reese Herrera that battling and doing a role, playing a role like you did last year. How big is it for you to share that leadership and to share that like Zach did with you to prepare Reese to take over and to be that kid next year when there's no more Chance Pernicka at Georgetown High School?
Yeah, man, it's important. V always tells me, like, if you see something here and there, just coach him up like Mazok did to me. But
the future is bright for you. You go to Blinn, to be a firefighter, hands down. That's awesome. What are you going to do your senior summer? As you know, when do you start to Blinn, and what are you going to get to do to enjoy before it gets real and the real world hits as you go get your degree and start as a true young man in the working world? What do you get to do this summer to kind of enjoy?
Well, I'll probably go on the lake a lot for sure, fishing, wakeboarding, all that. But I'll probably also work a lot for sure.
When do you have to head to, when do you report to school in Blinn?
It'll be in August.
So you get a couple of months. Hopefully you'll only have about a month and a half when we get done at Dell Diamond.
Yeah, for sure.
To work the end of June and some July there and get ready for August. But before I let you go tonight, man, it's been fun to watch you, and I'm so glad when you came back. It was crazy. Talk to us about, I got to ask you about the injury. It was one of the most awkward injuries when Coach Vierra told me about it, of how you broke your thumb.
Yeah, so it was 2-strike count. I was like, anything close, I got to battle it off. It was an inside high pitch. I swung at it, tried to foul it off, and it just hit my thumb. And honestly, I mean, I felt it a little bit, but, I mean, my adrenaline was so high at the moment. So I got back in the box, and somehow I hit the ball after, but, yeah, it was pretty rough.
Now that you come back and locked in at the catcher's position, how do you lead this team to try to go get a district championship tomorrow night, the next couple of weeks, and how do you prepare and lead this team as one of these seniors for this run in the playoffs?
Yeah, we just got to keep the players' confidence up and just know that, like, we're better. Like, just we have better stuff, and just go out there and compete.
Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Shout out to my parents and shout out to Talon Ball.
And I tell you what, I say this, Talon Ball, the Mighty Mouse. I had to bring this up now that you're going to Blinn to fire school. It's kind of like an Aggie going to a kid going to A&M. Their parents are Longhorns. Your dad is a veteran of 30 years of the Texas Highway Patrol, an honorable job and an honorable position, being a first responder and a law enforcement officer myself. It's awesome, and I enjoyed talking to him. I had no idea. I've talked to him many a times, but I had no idea. What kind of a disappointment really are you? No. How proud of you are your parents in the fact that you're picking to go into a job that not a lot of people run into. Not a lot of people want and go say, I see a burning building, I want to go take care of it and get people out. How has that been in the family as your dad's been a first responder and someone that served his community and his state for so long to see their son follow in those footsteps as a first responder?
Yeah, well, my dad, he was telling me that he didn't really want me to be a cop or a police officer. But I grew up around a lot of firefighters, and I've gone on some ride-outs and stuff, and it's enjoying.
I tried to tell one of my boys that, and he graduates from Texas State August 5th with his criminal justice degree. So I failed at that one. I couldn't convince him to go fight fires, so I tried. Chance Pernicki, your senior catcher, number 7, joins us live here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Chance, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to continue to watch as you finish out your senior year here at Georgetown.
Yes,
Quick break. We'll come back with head coach Jordon Vierra on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live on SHS. .606 South Church Street, home of the Golden Rule, right in the middle of the Georgetown monsoon. We sit here on the patio talking Eagle baseball. Jordon Vierra, the head coach, joins me again. I just got to put this out there. Coach Chuck Griffin, if you're watching, Coach Vierra is coming after you in your shoe game. These shoes are beautiful, and hopefully he'll show you. He may not show you. Coach Griffin likes to walk around in these nice eagle-colored Nike shoes all the time.
Do I do this?
There it
Is that
is.
the look right there? I don't know if I'm flexible enough for that.
Coach is out tomorrow night with a pulled hamstring. Coach Payne will be at third base.
I can't take any credit for these. This is what happens when you sit and you watch too much Disney movies with your kids, and your wife gets bored on the internet and decides, hey, we need matching shoes. And so then she designs something that doesn't look very cool, so you got to make it look cool. And then you say, yeah, babe, I'd love to have those shoes. They look great.
They turned out great. And then on the back, though, the touch on the back, EF and ND on them. It's just the closing touch there. I'm not sure Coach Griffin, as the athletic coordinator, has a pair that nice and that look. So I just had to give that out to him. We talked about every time he came up here during a coach's show, it was like, okay, it's another pair of Jordans or another pair of Nike Airs that he had on that were beautiful. We got to visit with a couple of kids, a young one, the youngest on your team in David Fluitt, the impact he's had and the impact that this G logo is having on him as he's going to have a legacy by the time he leaves. Not many kids see this varsity team for 3 years like a David Fluitt. No. And it's a challenge that he'll face. But then to talk to a player like Chance Pernicki that's been through this and is now taking lessons and leadership guidance from a D1 player in Zach Mazik and has turned that around this year to lead this team and to be that influence for Reese Herrera and this baseball team. How much fun is it to coach kids like that they realize the legacy and that G logo is bigger than them and that they live to share that knowledge and to lead a team and to be a part of a team that they know it's not just them, it's this team.
Right. You know, it's typically it's pretty easy when you get incredible parents like we have that do such a great job of making sure that when their guys get to us, they're good human beings first. And so when you have good human beings that are part of your program, it makes it a whole lot easier to instill the values that we want to continue with and things like that. And so when you got a guy like David Fluitt, who's a young guy that you're excited to get him into your varsity locker room and see how he continues to grow and mature. And the exciting thing is seeing that he doesn't back down from anything, right? Like he's incredibly competitive and he gets after it day in and day out, and he hasn't wavered at any point. He's had points in the season where he's had great success. He's had points in the season where he struggled a little bit, but just his ability to continue to.
The monsoon continues.
His ability to continue to grow and has continued to compete and to continue to be curious about how to grow is one thing that makes him the kind of awesome kid that he is. And then, fast forward a couple of years, you got a guy like Chance Pernica, who's been around here for a long time, and his family's come through here and understands the importance of the G and grew up wanting to be one of those guys that wanted to wear the G. And, for him to be the anchor behind the plate is something that we're really excited about to have. And, he's continued to grow and mature along the way. Last year he's kind of a role player guy and sat back and saw some things and continued to help push the momentum forward and soaked in as much as he can. And, this year we had a conversation about him, like you're the anchor, right? You're the guy behind the plate. You're the guy that everybody's looking to. And he accepted that role very quickly and very easily and decided, it's my job. So, when you have the spectrum covered like that with the young guys we have on our club and with the seniors that we have on the back end that have had the experience and they understand the legacy that they're trying to leave, it makes our job as coaches that much easier to be able to get there.
And you talk about those seniors. It's fun to watch, and as we go through the playoffs and we get towards the end of the season, we'll have kind of that senior wrap-up and talk about that. But to see players like Brady Peters step in at third base and playing the way he's playing, when he was a role player last year, Chance Pernica stepping in and heading out this defense on the field behind the plate as an anchor, knowing he was a role player last year, but taking over and being that leader. And Eli Hellman continuing to lead at shortstop. And then you just keep adding these facets. Jacob Faltasek stepping in, playing in the outfield, playing and being an important part. Kyle Ropolo coming in out of the bullpen, pitching the way he did the other night was beautiful coming in. And the confidence that you have as the coach to call a number, to call a 14 out of the bullpen, to move a Brady Peters to the mound, and know they're going to come in and throw strikes and go after these batters. It's just fun to watch these seniors.
Oh, for sure.
That played roles last year and big roles on a team that did great things, but to come in this year and not skip a beat and take over that leadership role.
Right.
And that gives a lot of credit to you and to Coach Payne and what you guys have taught and instilled in these kids as they have trusted that process and now get to lead and get to share that with these younger underclassmen.
Agreed.
Tomorrow night, the way I say it right now, it just seems kind of funny. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we'll be live at Eastview High School. It's supposed to end. The beautiful thing about Georgetown, and you have to give it to the athletic department, to this school district, to Coach Dean. We will play baseball tomorrow if it is not lightning tomorrow night, because Eastview High School has a turf field. Georgetown has the turf infield. Ball games don't get rained out. And so tomorrow night we'll be live at Eastview at 7 p.m. We'll get the good soaking, maybe Lake Travis, hopefully getting a good filling tonight in the lakes over there, but a much-needed rain. But tomorrow night, a big game, and to keep these players focused through tomorrow to try to secure a district championship, the challenge you face tomorrow. What is that? As you as the head coach knowing, how big is it for you and the coaching staff? Separate the players that you just want to go in and be done with this, win the district championship, and continue to go on, drive on.
In all honesty, like winning a district championship is incredibly exciting, right? Like I grew up in a family with my dad being a coach, and as far as I remember, I think he only won a couple of them as a head coach, and to be this early in my coaching career and have the opportunity to have a second one, it's obviously exciting, but it's not the end goal, right? And I think that for me as an individual personally, it's not the end goal. The end goal is to get back to Dell Diamond and a dog pile, and I think that our guys understand that as well. And I don't think that they'll be just satisfied with just winning a district championship. There's been a long legacy here for a long time of winning district championships, and that hasn't ever just scratched the itch. If anything, it makes that itch a little bit more because you feel that feeling of we check that big championship box off. We're done with that. We get to move on to the next one. We get the opportunity to get back out there again and get to go win another. They understand that, and they fully have bought into that. And I think that it's something that they breathe with. And so for us, as a coaching staff, it's another baseball game. It may be with with the district championship on the line, and that really doesn't impact the way that we're going to go about managing the things we've done. We have our game plan. We have the things that we like to do. We understand who our personnel are and how they respond to things on the field, and it's just another baseball game.
Tomorrow night over at Eastview, come join us 7 p.m. Wear blue, be loud, as Coach likes to say. But come and have a good turnout. Watch your Eagles as they take on the Eastview Patriots. And a chance to win the district title second in a row would be a district title for this baseball team under head coach Jordon Vierra. And then Saturday, 1 p.m., come out for Military and First Responder Appreciation Day against a tough Round Rock Dragon team live at Eagle Field at 1 p.m. And the next week, the last week of the regular season, and you'll have it all live here on SHM. But come join us. Fill those stands. This crowd continues to show up week after week, and home game and away game, they keep showing up. And so come and join us tomorrow night. Make a crowd. Make Eastview uncomfortable at their own field tomorrow night.
Talking about.
As we cheer on these Georgetown Eagles tomorrow night, 7 p.m. If you can't join us, if your grandparents far away or anybody else watching, 6:45 first pitch. Not the best accommodations over at Eastview. They have a great field, but not the best setup for us broadcasters. So we'll be up in the stands, but we'll have the camera going, and we'll bring you play-by-play action of your Georgetown Eagles. Coach Vierra joined us tonight along with Chance Pernicka. Thank you to you, Chance, and to David Fluitt. Thanks for joining us, guys. Enjoyed talking to you young men. Guys, be careful getting home. Coach, your shout-outs before I let you go. I noticed the crew is not here tonight. They may have pulled the smart card and stayed home.
Yeah, they had a rough night tonight. They were super bummed about not being able to come to the coaches' show. So in case Macy's got the YouTube on, love you guys. We'll see you in the morning. Other than that, show up, be loud, wear blue. Let's get after it tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us live here at the Golden Rule, the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, brought to you live by the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street here on SHN. We'll be back live tomorrow night, 6:45 first pitch, 7 o'clock, or 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch, as your Eagles try to win themselves the district championship on the road at Eastview High School. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.